Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unstoppable Overcomers. And I'm your host, Dorothy Odell, for this evening. I have the distinct pleasure of definitely honoring our sponsor for tonight's show, Be Oily with Bonnie. Did you know that doTERRA essential oils can help support the body's physically, mentally, and emotionally to help you achieve optimal health? Aromatherapy is a very powerful tool. And for more information, contact Bonnie Herb with doTERRA Wellness Advocate, and you can find her information on her website at www.beoilywithbonnie.com or give her a call or a text at 810-414-0929. And tonight, if you need more joy in your life, you've definitely hit the right night to join us live. Welcome to the show, Cindi, the queen of joy.
When you said let's get the party started, I really thought you meant party. So here I am.
Whoa, I love that. I totally 100% love that. And yeah, I really love getting all parties started. That's what it's about. And,
Like,
and I was
let's
thinking,
get celebrated.
exactly. I was thinking of you this weekend because I thought, since Monday is the Queen of Joy, what brings me joy and how can I have more joy in my life? So I decided to go to Jackson Park here in the beautiful, lovely Windsor, Ontario. And like the amount of stuff that I had no idea was in there, on top of taking pictures, which brings me joy,
Yeah.
I was just really thinking of you this weekend.
Oh, joy is found really in like the littlest places and the right in front of your face. You just have to notice it, right?
Right.
You don't have to travel pretty far to find it, really.
Nope.
So that's good. So it's all available to us without, having to go out in the freezing cold like you did.
Well, actually, Sunday it was absolutely stunning. It was 25 degrees here. So that was
Sweet.
like 80 something degrees
Oh,
here in
okay.
Canada. So
Oh,
it was amazing and lovely. And you can't tell, but I actually had a little bit of a tan going on here. And so
that's awesome.
I was like, that filled my joy cup. And then today it's like freezing. We had snow, we had everything.
Oh,
So it was, but I still went for my walk at lunch.
that's really good because I'll be honest, that's the one thing that I'm working on to get better at, like fitting that in. I'm queen of also making a lot of excuses. I'm so busy, I have no time for the walk. But no, I'm working on it. I have to.
It's funny. I seen a post this weekend. If we don't take time, if we don't make our health a priority, our illness will. And I was
Absolutely.
just like, ouch,
Well, that
ouch.
actually just happened to me like 2 weeks ago. So I'm supposed to be drinking like almost 100 ounces a day of water and walking to help my condition. So I was kind of got the wake up call, the unexpected. You know what? I still have found joy in it because I'm glad it happened because now I can protect my family and my kids from
Mhm.
it by them knowing earlier. So everything happens for a reason. There's always a bright side to every situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Cindy, tell us a little bit about your overcoming story. Because here at Unstoppable Overcomers, we celebrate everybody's overcoming. And so, we never want people to feel alone in their circumstances. So that's why we started this show. And so tell us a little bit
I
about
love
what
that.
you've overcome.
And, a little side note though, I have overcome this particular circumstance, but you know what? There's new circumstances. I mean, like life is always going to have those circumstances. Like we're all
Absolutely.
going to face challenges. That's just human and part of life. And it's just a matter of how we choose to deal with them. But what inspired my book, which you probably see behind me, and More Joy, um,
Mhm.
was I was going through a extremely dark valley, mostly in marriage, other things as well. I had a dying dog, and just life was just not going in the right direction. And I had been born a pretty positive, happy person, but I got myself into this funk that I could not get out of bed, literally. It was like weight was like pushing me into the bed. And if I did get out of the bed, I would like have tears in my eyes and my throat. I was like almost non-functioning. And
Oh,
yeah, and it was a while. And so during that time, how I got out of the funk was through a lot of things, but the book was part of it. And the way it wasn't intended to ever be a book, but I was journaling,
right.
and I've included the journal portion in the book. But that's one of the things that really helped me as I was journaling and I was writing it out, getting my feelings out, and also taking small actions every single day, like to get out of bed. Like I didn't just wake up one day and be like, I'm ready to go. That is not how it happened.
Right.
was it was intentional, one toe out of um we have some nice viewers today. Hi
Yes.
everyone.
Well, I'll just go to the comments then. Since so, Paul says hello. Great seeing us again here. That's great, Paul. Happy to talk to you later. And Terrence, curious, Miss Joy, how are you working on it? What kind of tools are you using to get more joy and to overcome?
Okay,
And hi, Tim.
great questions. I'm happy to answer. So let me, I was kind of telling a little bit about how I got myself out. And this is still how I do it every day, really. Because believe it or not, I do not wake up with roses around and confetti and like, ah, like, no, that is not my world. And most people don't. So hi everyone. I'm so happy everyone's here. So the way I do intentional acts to help me find my joy each and every day, and that's still even going on today. Okay. Um, I'm just like everyone else. Even the queen of joy isn't always joyful. Believe it or not, life still happens to all of us.
Mhm.
But I have learned, Terrence, the tools that I can use to push through. So I have an extremely supportive network, very close circle of other people that are very similar in their positivity, uplifting, their faith, how I enclose my people too. So before I even wake up in the morning, literally my phone has a bunch of texts on it with all positive messages from different people. And a lot of them are like little group ones. Some of them are just one-off ones. But every day I wake up and I have that. So that's one thing. Also, right when I wake up, is I open my eyes and I'm like, thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you for my eyes, my hands, my feet. Just lead me, let me know where you want me today, to be a vessel for you and spread joy. So I'm thankful I have, oh, well, good. Hey, I got a 5 star.
Terrence says nailed it. Nice. So Terrence is one of my brand new friends out in Calgary.
Oh, yay.
And he is big hugs to you, Miss Dorothy. Oh, big hugs to you, Terrence. Anyways, this is lumberjack. Like, if you go check him out on
Oh, I
LinkedIn,
will.
he's like this big guy, but he's such a teddy bear. And he sent me this video message. So we've been back and forth messaging, and it was funny because he made a comment about there's no fluff out in BC. I said, well, wait a minute here. I am the type of person that will nail anything that I say I'm going to nail, and meaning like the physically fit. This guy has like chains around his neck, and they move jeeps out there, and they
Wow.
like throw tires off glaciers out in BC apparently.
Wow.
And so yeah, I said I wanted to go to his camp, and so he thought I was like one of those fifi flu females, and yeah, that's not me. And so it's that's what he's talking about. That's where my mind went. So, and Christine, thank you so much for
Yes,
joining us.
Christine is amazing. She's a very good friend, and I'm not going to share her story for her, but she's also someone who's very similar to me in that we've gone through and continue to go through hard times, but
Yeah.
we don't let that stop our positivity, and that doesn't it doesn't identify who we are. In fact, quite the opposite for both of us.
Right.
So again, it's a choice. You can choose to wallow in it and be miserable, or you can make different choices, do different things, do different behaviors and actions that bring joy. Back
Right.
to that. So I have an extremely supportive network. I have the More Joy community, which Christine, I met her as part of. And
Yes.
when you're on LinkedIn or any social media, you know it's there. There's a lot of negativity. It's in the world, it's in the people. People are suffering right now. It's hard to avoid it. This
Right.
is like a little community that I created originally because I needed a space to have like a little happy place where I would only surround myself with positive things and
Right.
positive people. And
Right.
that's what it is. And so if you find yourself in a position where you just like can't take it anymore, there's a place that you can go. And but they're real people, real genuine, authentic, supportive people. Like everyone has been through stuff. The only reason people get to be joyful is from going through things, really. You don't get that way
Absolutely.
overnight.
Absolutely. And I find the people that have had the biggest challenges are the ones that are out here being the biggest cheerleaders to everybody. And,
Right.
and that's how I met some of the people in the comments, like Terrence, he saw my original post that I did last week about, just lifting people. I forget what the post was, something about lifting people up and just being there as a support system, like you said, because I don't know of anybody who, especially after the pandemic, hasn't been affected in one way or the other with being isolated and things like that. And we're out here as a voice saying, wait a minute, you're not alone. We have a community and supportive people that here. I find LinkedIn very supportive, and the fact that we all come together as a common good. You're right. Like when you're going through a relationship and it isn't turning out the way you want it to be, it can be challenging. Or when you're watching your father die, right, in
Absolutely.
your bed, like that's challenging. But you have a choice to either wallow in it, or make that conscious decision to take a step forward and say, wait a minute, I choose joy in this moment. And thank God that you did choose joy in your moments, because now here you are, the queen of joy, and bringing that community of get together of
You're
women.
so right. Because I would honestly do it all over again, my entire life with all the bad, all the everything, just to be who I am today. I really would do it exactly the same way because I wouldn't be who I am. And I'm grateful that I have this opportunity to spread more joy in the world because I don't think there could be a better time for it actually right now.
Mhm.
People are going through some really tough times and things and heavy burdens. And I want to be, and I'm blessed that I was chosen to be the Queen of Joy. I didn't even come up with that name, um, but it stuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other ones out there. None like me. Okay, see, like I'm just crazy. I own it. I don't care.
And that's what's so great about you, Cindy, because I feel that you are so genuine and just who you are, right? You can't be help but be anybody else. And so that is amazing. And we need more people like that, who are authentic, who are going to say it like it is, not
Yeah.
sugarcoat some bullshit on social media so that every my life looks great. And if anybody's been following what we've been doing here at Unstoppable Overcomers for the last 2 years, you've seen the great, you've seen the good, you've seen the shitty, you've seen me in the trenches with my dad. Went live every day, and you've seen me where I've helped other people lift people up. And so that's what I love about my community, and that's what I love about our guests that we bring on, because you know this is the real deal. Nowhere are you going to find somebody talking about, they were struggling within their marriage, and marriage is hard, people.
And anyone who says differently might not be telling the truth.
Right? I mean, seriously. I mean, not only do we have our own shit
Effort
to
on
get
the
over,
part for sure. Well,
right?
what I'm a big believer in is there's just cycles. You have the ups and you have the downs. It's like a roller coaster, I think, because life happens. I mean, things happen, right?
Okay, so Terrence has another question. What's your diet like? Do you feel diet plays a role with your overall well-being?
Yes, definitely. Like I said earlier, have a newfound love for water. I used to never even drink one sip. Like I hated water, which is why, by the way, I have this condition. So
Well,
now I have to face the water. My God. And so yes, I eat extremely healthy. I only stay on the outskirts of the grocery aisles and eat the fruits and the vegetables. And I read every ingredient, and I'm staying away from the things that I need to be staying away from, which is phosphorus, potassium, and sodium, some other stuff too. But so yes, diet is important because I have also been the girl that loves to eat horrible, like what you mentioned earlier, Dorothy, like you're that was like every night for me. Like I would indulge because I had a lot of joy doing that. And and you can't do it every you have to have balance. You can't do it every night.
yes.
But if I go on vacation, I'm definitely going to still go off and have a good time for those 3, 4 days, whatever it might be. And then I'll get back on because I'm a huge believer in balance.
Right. And okay, so what Cindy's alluding to is off camera. I had said to her that my husband and I went out for dinner last night with some friends, which we typically, historically, have never done, especially on a Sunday night. And, we were invited to a fancy restaurant and we had a couple bottles of wine and we had steak and shrimp and dessert, which we normally don't do, but this dessert was like this high. It was so freaking good. And so I am so tired today because we went out last night and then the smoke alarm decides to go off at midnight. False alarm, folks. If any family's watching, it's fine. But I couldn't go back to sleep after that. And so it typically, Cindy was saying, Mondays are usually Monday. And I'm like, Mondays are my good day because I get to see you folks. I can be dead dog tired after work, but then when I get onto the show, it's just like I light up like a Christmas tree because I
Yeah.
just know I never know who's going to show up in the comments or on the replay. And so it's just, and I always want to make sure I'm giving my best to our audience and to our guests and things like that. So me dragging my butt today typically isn't me on a Monday, but that's why, because she squealed on me. So thank you.
Hey, I call that more joy.
Well, yeah.
More joy. Yes, you have to enjoy those moments. They don't come all the time, right?
No,
So
no.
they're supposed to be enjoyed.
That's right. Well, and it's funny because I was sharing with Cindy yesterday was typically not my normal Sunday from beginning to end. And I had shared with Cindy that I went to, if you've ever in Windsor, Ontario, you got to check out Jackson Memorial Park. It is, my parents actually got their wedding pictures taken there 28-ish years ago. So it holds a special place in my heart, but I didn't realize that it was actually a veteran memorial as well. So not only is it botanical gardens, it's like a veteran memorial, and I got to go take pictures. Which if my husband's with me, well, I shouldn't say that. When we were in Arizona, I would stop and take pictures of cactuses, and he was very gracious with me. But typically, when he's with me, I don't stop and take a picture of everything that I want to. And so I got to experience that yesterday. So yesterday was joy all the way. I mean, it was nice and sunny, 80 some odd degrees, and now we
Right?
wake up to this crap, snow.
Well, can't help you there because I'm having the most glorious sunshine day. You saw my video earlier today. I had the sunroof open. I was dancing to music in the car. I was like, sunshine. Yeah.
Walking on sunshine.
Walking on
Woo!
sunshine. Yeah. Gosh.
I'm gonna have to take my
Like
top off my
water.
Jeep.
Like literally, like I don't even need to have wine.
There we
Although
go.
not saying I don't like it.
Here at Unstoppable Overcomers, we've been known to once in a while bring wine onto the show. Maybe that will be the
Oh,
next time.
yeah.
But we're celebrating something. Oh, okay. I got to read this comment.
Yes, read
Normally
it.
I wait to the end, but
No, that's good.
Terrence
Read it.
says, "You guys are super badass. Thank you for your time, positive energy today, and most importantly, for acknowledging my existence. Keep
Aw.
up the great work, ladies. Stay connected and all
Thank
good
you
things and
so much
forgive
for
everything."
coming, Terrence. Connect
Yes.
with me also.
Yes. Terrence is a fellow badass.
Yeah.
So
I love the word badass, honestly. It's like my favorite word.
right? He in one of his videos on the weekend, he called me a badass, and it like lit me up like a freaking Christmas tree. I'm like, this guy who is like stoked, pumped, like ripped, calling me a badass. I'm like, hell yeah!
You know why? I think it has to do with vulnerability. People that are vulnerable, I feel, are strong.
There you go. Well, then I can bend steel.
He said, "No, I'm just a guy."
Just a guy. Okay? There is a movie with
I'm
that song or with that saying. I'm just a guy.
just a guy.
No, I think it was a love story. Never mind. We won't go there. You never know what you're going to get on this show.
You
You
never know,
absolutely
especially
never
when you
know.
have me as a guest, you never know, literally.
Well, the funny thing is, I had been okay. So we do a lot with veterans, PTSD, suicide, everything like that. Like been doing a lot of that. But I thought, guys, how could we bring more fun to the show, even bringing up the hard topics, right?
Yeah,
Because I mean, there are podcasts out there that go for 3 hours talking about useless shit, and yet people like are drawn to that. So how can we take what we normally do, how we normally help people, and bring fun, joy, and sunshine to it? Well, as soon as I made that decision that that was going to happen, then we had Cindy on this book for the show, and here we are.
you
So
remember
we're
that? Yeah,
we're bringing light to the dark conversations,
yeah,
and I think that's important,
it is.
because people are tired, like you said. The whole reason why you decided to start your community was because you wanted to find joy with others, right? And so, and
It
bring joy to other people.
absolutely. And eventually, I mean, really, my goal is to have a ripple effect on the world. And I don't feel like um, I'm too small for that. I feel like it takes all of us. One person at a time has the power to affect change. And there's a lot of people out there talking about joy. And I'm like, yes, the more the merrier. Let's keep it going. Let's get this momentum.
Right.
Because we're only here for a limited amount of time. Time doesn't go backwards. I mean, we have to just really be grateful for what we do have. And that's another one of the keys to joy. Probably the foundation, if I had to pick one, is gratitude. Because when you are feeling gracious and have more gratitude, you're not feeling depressed, you're not feeling angry or sad. Those two really can't like exist together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I came up with an epiphany and did a quick TikTok on this in my driveway when I got home today. Was if we feel like we're out of options, that
Mhm.
we feel hopeless.
Yeah.
And so that really got me today thinking, because you could be in a job that is sucking you dry, or a
Yeah.
relationship that's sucking you dry, and you think you have no options. But if you actually looked and see what options you really have, you feel hope again, right? You feel alive and you keep going. um
But sometimes you need someone, you can't do it alone. Um,
yes.
Honestly, and I speak for myself,
Yes.
someone as joyful as I am needs other people.
Yes.
I can't do it alone, and I don't want to do it alone. I mean, that's when you talk to someone, you get that camaraderie, you're heard, you're supported, you feel better, you laugh. The next thing you know, you're done with your pity party.
Right. Well, okay, so and that's why I just want to come back to this, because you said you found your tribe. So and it's funny because I was the type of person that would be by myself constantly. I was completely stressed out. And 3 years ago, I found this woman, and it's funny how I found her. She was on LinkedIn. I wanted to be on her podcast, and so she introduced me to this amazing woman named Jen. Now, I was never on Karen's podcast, but she introduced me to Jen, who was the start of my tribe. So Jen brought me into this. Saturday mornings we have, it used to be every Saturday morning, now it's every other Saturday morning. So there's 8 women total, and this group comes from like a diverse background, where most of us are business owners. We have a teacher in there, so we have a doctor, we have coaches, you name it. We're
Right.
all walks of life in this. And that group has gotten me through some pretty rough times.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you, whenever I think of the phoenix, rising from the ashes, and that's part of what came out of these last 3 years, was having these ladies have my back. Like, I know that no matter what I'm going through, all I have to do is just reach out to one of them and they're there, right?
Exactly.
And that is what we need. The world needs a tribe or a group. Less,
You don't necessarily like have to have a whole posse. You really don't. If you have
yep,
even a couple friends,
yep,
it's better than having none. We
right,
need support. We need each other. We were never meant to do life alone. That's not
right.
how we were intended.
Absolutely, 100%. And with that, your greatest strengths come out of that. No, number one, they don't let the days that I want to quit, they're like, nope, let's go. Take a deep breath, take 10 deep breaths, and let's go.
Right.
Right. And that's what the world needs. The world needs people, camaraderie. They need to be around, supported, loved.
Absolutely.
And Christine's other here, looking at options has helped me tackle tough times. Please plus having a supportive group of friends. Absolutely. You
Yeah.
know, um, and there's so many amazing people out there. Just connect to somebody, through networking with
Yeah.
LinkedIn. That's how I met you. Well,
Yeah.
actually, we have a mutual friend, Angel. That's
Oh
how I met
yeah.
with you. So Angel connected me with
He's in the
you.
community too.
And so yeah, I mean, you never know the ripple effect that you're going to have on somebody, right?
You don't. That's the beauty. You don't know what one connection. I mean, there are some people I like will think I'll be friends with forever that I've met through LinkedIn, literally. And I've
Right.
never, well, so I was about to say I've never met them in person, but there are people I actually have already met in person. And I hope to have a whole lot more. I'm going to get into, I'm still in the planning stage of retreats. So I plan to have more joy retreats, more joy. Since I'm in the Smoky Mountains, 10 million people come here a year. So I'm like, how can I not have a retreat?
Right.
It gives you so much joy, the mountains. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Well, mountains. Okay, well, that's funny you said that, because I've always been a water baby, and
Me too.
my earth element is fire, and but I have always loved water, and so I find that when I go downtown to the riverfront, I feel like at peace. But lately, I've been having, it's funny, I had this dream before I met my husband. I had this dream of being in this cabin, like out in the middle of nowhere, and there
Mhm.
was a fireplace, and I was just felt so at peace. Come to find out. So we went to his sister's cabin out in Michigan, and I walked into this place, and it was exactly what I had been dreamed about.
It's crazy, right?
And I walked in, and I'm like, oh shit, like this actually exists.
Wow. And I loved how you said fire was one of your elements, and then the fireplace was there.
Yes. Well, and that's funny that you said that, because, the only thing I'm missing about camping, and no disrespect for Terrence and his camp, but the only thing I miss about camping is the fire.
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
stare
mesmerized
into
by fire,
by
right?
fire,
And the
right?
crackling.
With the
Oh, I love
yes,
it.
and the
Yeah.
warmth, and of course you have to have a good cold beer while you're around the fire. Well, you don't have to, but it just adds to it, or a glass of wine, or if we're at my
Yeah.
sister-in-law's cottage,
S'mores.
margaritas.
Gotta have my chocolate fix.
Yes, s'mores. Oh my gosh. Okay, now you're making me hungry for s'mores. I got enough firewood out there. We just took down 3 trees, so I got enough firewood.
There you go.
But anyways, so tell us more about your book, Cindy.
So, you know what? I'll show you a little bit. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what the book looks like. So it has a quotation on one side, and it could be like from the Bible, it could be someone famous, it could be me, it could be anyone. Okay, and then the other side is my reflection of it. Um,
Ah,
and then it says, ponder this. And it gives like 3 to 5 questions. And that part comes from what I told you earlier, how journaling really helped me. So I
right.
incorporated that part into the book. But like this particular page says, joy is increased by spreading it to others, right? Now, that is absolutely the truth. So like attracts like. So the more you put out there joy, the more bounces back at you.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the same thing happens if you're going to be negative. That's going to bounce at you also. Um,
Yep.
so I don't choose that route. But so that's the whole thing with the tribe you were saying earlier. So
Yep.
your vibe attracts your tribe. That couldn't be, farther from, the gospel, literally, because what you're putting out there is what you attract. So
Mhm.
the people in, it's not like I even intended like that the community only has this people or whatever. It's just that those are the people that I attract. And
Mhm.
so I don't have to put out the rule like, there's going to be no negativity. And I mean, no one's going to do that because I don't even get on my posts.
Mhm.
Like, I don't even get haters. I had one time who made like a snide comment once. But for all the posts that I do, I was like, that's pretty good. I'm not
Yeah,
attracted to that. Yeah.
exactly. That is really good. Wow. I just want to go to our commercial break. Sorry, just 1 second here. Again, for all your doTERRA oil needs, definitely reach out to Bonnie, www.beoilywithbonnie.com, or give her a call or a text at 810-414-0929 for all your aromatherapy needs. So yes, I love that you said that, and the kudos for you for only having one negative Nelly.
Right?
Um, I've funny that you said that. I've experienced a couple of those. So I decided, sorry, I
Was
decided
that
to
was that an Orange Crush? I haven't
no,
seen
my
it.
dear, bubbly. So if anybody's
Oh,
into anybody that knows anybody with bubbly, I would like them to sponsor the show.
okay, I will get right on that.
Yeah, because I drink a bubbly a night on the show.
Oh,
So,
there you go.
if they could,
They should sponsor your show.
right? Because I'm sponsoring them,
Right.
right? So
It's fair to me for sure.
that's what I thought. So me, I decided I was going to try TikTok, right? Because everybody's supposed to be on TikTok.
Yes, I
So
know.
I was very vulnerable one night, very, very vulnerable about there's two things in life that when I don't usually talk about, and that's being a stepmom as being one of them. And because it could be your greatest joy and it could be, it could wreck you.
Yeah,
Like,
we can
and
talk about that at another point.
yeah, and so I had mentioned something that had happened and how I felt about it in reaction. Well, I had like that was the highest
Interesting.
views on there, and some people were like so nasty. And anything that I have said publicly, I've had a conversation with the real mom before I've said
Right.
anything, and these women just tore me apart, and I was just like, okay, that's the conversation
Was
that
that good?
I tore. That was the very only video I've taken down, and in the 3 years that I've been doing this.
Yeah.
And
I
so yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
those things that I don't say a lot
It could
about.
yeah. It could definitely go either way, and I think the reason people got hot about it is because it's so prevalent, including in my own life, including in my husband's life, that everybody has an opinion, right? Everybody had an experience, so that's what they're dealing with. They're still dealing with unresolved issues, and then they're, like, coming at you, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. Um, well, you, bring up a great point about haters. So what I do is just block. I mean, that was TikTok you were on, but if I don't like a comment, I would just block the person or something. You don't have
Yeah.
to like stay connected to them.
No, and that's what that is completely true. And but so here's another thing that because let's be real, because we're not out here to play small. You and I, Cindy, we're not that type
No.
of people.
Wait, what's small?
I don't know. Well, something came to mind, but I can't say it just in case there's a kid watching. But anyways,
That's hilarious.
I'm right. You like that, eh? That one just came off the tip of my tongue.
Great minds think alike.
So we're out here to do big things. So, the more haters that we have, actually, the better it is for us. Because seriously, that means we're doing something right. Because haters usually it brings something up inside of other people. So let's think of it this way: a healed person is not going to say anything, right? So but a hurt person hurts somebody.
Oh yeah.
So we have that opportunity to help them be healed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's really sad when I see that though on other people's posts.
Well, it is, but if I want to be the next Oprah Winfrey, and I
You
know,
better get in line, sister. There's so many of us. I'll introduce you to the rest of the tribe that want to be Oprah also.
so
I don't want to be Oprah really, though.
I want to have Oprah's influence, is what I want. Only because
I love Mel Robbins.
she's awesome, and it was brought to my attention Tyler Perry. I love Tyler Perry movies, and we're out to create one of the largest production companies in the world. So Tyler Perry has his own production company as well. So does Oprah. But
Right.
but look what this man does. Like both of them started off from nothing, and look at
Absolutely.
look
at
what they
Dolly
have
Parton.
now. Right.
I bring up Dolly because she's from my hometown here. She grew up in a 1-bedroom cabin with 10 brothers and sisters, no electricity, no water. They had to go to the river nearby for their once a week bath.
Oh,
Look at her. But right? And she's amazing. Would she be the same person today? People that go through hardship are the ones that turn out as gift givers to the world.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I said we're not out here playing small. We're out here to change the world.
That's right.
So I love that you said that. And so,
Yeah.
Cindi, where can people get a copy of your book? Because
So this is something I love. So if you are like just need a quick action item to find more joy, you just can look here and dance in the rain, no rain, skip down your driveway. Literally, okay. I sing at the top of my lungs like farm animal songs, like "Oh McDonald." Like you can't be sad when you're singing a rhyme out loud.
right.
I just do stuff like that, and all that's in the book, like just random stuff. If you connect to your inner child, this is where the joy comes. Stop worrying about what the world might think. Who gives a? Okay, you just be you, authentically yourself, enjoy who you are. That's who you were designed to be, nobody else. Okay. And when you're in that moment, that gives you the freedom, the joy, and the peace when you're absolutely yourself. And that circles back to your inner child. When you can behave like like you did as a child and carefree and not care what someone's thinking or might be, which it's just so
freeing.
stifling to do that. I just don't entertain that.
Right. That's what I mean. I mean, the opposite of that is totally freeing when you allow your inner child to come out. And for people like myself who grew up way too quickly, I never had that opportunity to be that child. And a lot of it was self-inflicted with myself. I grew up with parents that were pretty much ill. When one was down, the other one would be up, thank God, but that was not always the case.
Hard.
But it was hard. And just taking that time, it's funny, I never wanted to go outside as a kid. I would always be in the house. And now if it's nice outside, you can't get me to stay
That's
outside.
interesting.
Like seriously, last week I took my computer outside and I was working outside because I'm like, I don't want to be in this office. This office that I have is small for right now, but I can't wait until I can get the garage built and my office on top and have a big wide open space, because that's that brings me joy, and to be outside brings me joy, and so like I love what you
have
said.
to wait for the garage, by the way. You could just literally make your own spaces outside every day.
Well, I could do that, yes. And
See,
so when it's nice,
good.
I do it.
You should. Yeah.
When it's nice, yes, but when it's
Yeah.
raining and crappy out,
You have
I have
some
to be
scary
inside.
weather there. Not gonna
Well,
lie.
yeah. Like it's bipolar this week. Yesterday it was 82. Today it's 5.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's nuts.
It is
Welcome to
definitely
Canada, folks. You can have sun, rain, and snow all in the same day.
wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I have a swing that I bring out my computer and sit outside a lot when I want to change atmospheres. It really does change when you move yourself and you see different surroundings. It changes everything,
Yes.
lifts you up.
Well, it's funny because Kimberly, my business partner, has a garage. So her garage, she's actually literally commandeered her, and her husband's car sits outside, and she has the entire. It looks like a space station. She's got notes on the walls, everything, and I'm just like, that's what we need because we don't want to be stifled with our creativity. Us creative people,
No, no.
right?
Oh, I
Like,
love being creative. No, absolutely.
exactly, exactly. So
And that brings more joy. Like during the Christmas season, I told people, like, take your presents that you're supposed to give someone and wrap it with like 3 different types of wrapping paper, tape, do it like you did as a kid. Nothing matched. The tape, the corners, everything was a huge mess. Do you know how much joy is involved in that? So much. Not being perfect is so fun and so freeing.
I love that you said that because seriously, I used to be so anal about the corners unwrapping a gift, and now I'm like, I just don't give a shit, and I'll just like slap, 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 tape, tape, tape. Way I go.
Right.
See you
And
later.
that's so much more joyful, right?
It is for me. Or what's really joyful, and this is evil. On some of the gifts for my stepson, I'll take tape and I'll just like wrap it around, and he gets so pissed off at me, and I just love it. I'm like, I'm just that type of person. So if you're ever like did something to me, well, I'm just kidding. But if you've ever just want to have joy for yourself, maybe not for the other person, just put extra tape on the package. It like does so.
Oh,
It's
I have a
great.
good one for you. So, speaking of joy, so my sister and I posted about this about a week ago. We have this thing where every blue moon we will send each other our junk drawers in a box. I don't know if you saw that video. And
I didn't. I
packing it
heard you talking about it though.
brings so much joy. It's a surprise. You don't know when it's coming, whatever. And she still forgets about it like in between. So it's pretty long. And literally, when I'm packing it, it's more fun than her receiving it. Literally, I'm like, I just didn't need that. Oh my God. And I'm like, literally, tears going down the legs as I'm packing it. Okay. But so it's kind of the same thing that you're saying. I find so much joy in the giving.
Well, that's funny you said that because there's a basket at my front door that is needing to be gifted. It's been in my closet for 2 years. And my husband's like, what's
I
that
might
basket
want
at
it.
the front door? I'm like, some lucky lady's going to get it. I just don't know who it is. So if anybody is into the Chinese New Year,
Oh yeah, white elephant and all that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what's in it. There's a mat, there's some stuff there. It was from 2 years ago when it was the year of the rat. Like,
Oh
so,
my gosh.
so I want it
Leave
at
it on someone else's doorstep. That's what I would do.
okay. Yes,
I
I
like
could
to
do
play
that.
practical
I
jokes.
do not live in a Chinese community. I live in a community with well, we have a mosque at the corner, so in an Indian community. So I'm not sure if I stuck a Chinese
Yeah.
thing on the
Might not go over well.
no, and I don't want to. I love my neighbors, so I don't want to do anything. I would never intentionally hurt anybody.
Right.
But I'm just like I'm not sure that would go over.
Maybe do you have like a Goodwill you can drop it off at?
Goodwill, we do have Goodwill, or maybe I'll take it to. We have a couple women's shelters. I might
That's
just
perfect.
take it
I'm
there.
sure they need that there.
Absolutely, bring more joy. So, where can people get a copy of your book, Cindy?
Amazon it used to be number one, but it has fallen. Obviously, that just is what happens. But it was bestseller. I think I have like 55 5-star reviews. Excellent book. People all the time are sending me screenshots of like them writing in it, like the journal part and stuff. And
Awesome.
you'll probably read it really fast, maybe the first time if you want to, but it's actually separated into 52 weeks. So you should read it, not should, but it was designed that you could read it
Yeah.
once a week and then really ponder about it and really try some of the behaviors that are in there. Like, for instance, I need to call this out because it's important to me, is paying it forward. Whenever you pay it forward in any way, it triggers your brain to find more joy, literally. So the act of giving and helping others naturally changes the chemistry in your brain. So by just giving, and even if it could be free too. I mean, it could, most of the things I do are free as well. Like letting people in line in front of you at the grocery store, like just being a kind human, not needing to cut someone off, not giving the finger. Like, it's okay, you can go. You can wait the extra 10 seconds. I promise you won't die. So
Were you in my car last week? I'm just kidding. I
so,
love that. No,
yeah,
I love that. I always say that. Like if I'm in a funk, I always help somebody because the moment I turn it off of me,
boom.
and put it
Same.
on them,
Mhm.
it's a lot better. So I totally get it. Um, Question for you here. Okay, so normally we would go into the fundamental section with a little bit of the scheduling issues that we had tonight, because I know we got to land this plane a little bit early tonight because Cindy has a community right at 8 o'clock. So we're landing the plane a little bit early tonight. So, Cindy, what would your three fundamentals be?
Okay. And I love the way you guys spell fundamentals. In fact, I'm going to make that number one. Having fun. I really honestly believe in that. Like I just talked about, connecting to your inner child is all about being fun. It's also about being creative. So those two to me go hand in hand. I had lost some creativity when I had kids at home and I was creative with them, but then when they went to school and I was constantly juggling practices and school and homework, like I forgot about my own creativity. And then during the pandemic when we were all home, I started doing the things like I loved, and that like sparked it again, sparked more joy. So I would say always connect to your inner child and have fun and be silly and be yourself. Two, pay it forward. Doesn't have to cost anything on LinkedIn. You could do it by endorsing people, do a recommendation, introduce two people that should know each other, support someone who wrote a book, buy their book. These things matter. Just the littlest things matter. So do that. The third one I would say is, well, it's kind of the same as the always giving, but surround yourself with a supportive community. That is key because those people will rub off on you. Good or bad, they're going to rub off on you. So choose the good. And I would love for you to check out the More Joy community. If it's a fit for you, we would love to have you. If you're negative, then it might not be a fit.
Or you can convert the negative into positives, and there
Yeah,
we go.
we could.
But I highly recommend that you checking them out, which is going to start in approximately 12 minutes. Is Cindy's when her community starts.
Yes, we're
So
having a really fun guest tonight where he is amazing. He plays the guitar and does meditation. That's what, and then we're having a big announcement tonight about a new initiative. So it's going to be fun, fun, fun.
and to go to that, and go to www.cindycohn.com/join/our community/community. It's on the ticker. You see it. I may have said it wrong, but you see it
Yeah,
there on the ticker.
yeah. Well, thank you.
And
First, I want to say, Dorothy, thank you so much. One is for having me on, but two, it's been a great time, and I appreciate the fun. And it's kind of like the first time we met. Like it's supposed to be like a short call, and an hour and a half later, we're like,
she's like the sister I never had. I was stuck with a brother. Kidding. I love my brother. But seriously,
thank you all too in the comments that came and the ones who will watch the replay. Connect with me. I'd love to meet you.
absolutely. And so the best place for you want people to connect with you is on LinkedIn, right?
It is.
All
Yeah. I'm
right.
also on Instagram, the Queen of More Joy. on
Perfect.
Instagram and on Facebook, but my main platform is LinkedIn and then Instagram.
Perfect. So thank
Oh,
you so
also
much.
on YouTube too. So YouTube is like my funny shorts. Like if I just wake up in the morning feeling funny, then I
Mm.
might just do something silly and upload.
I get you. I sometimes just like going live spontaneously, and
Yeah.
you just never know what's
Yeah.
going to come out of our mouth.
Ex You never know. That's the gift of
That's
you never know what you're getting. It's a surprise.
It's a gift that keeps on giving. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like Cindy said, thank you so much to the people and the guests in the comments. And Cindy, thank you so much for
It
bringing
was
joy
so
to our
fun.
show.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you got to get going. So, thank you. Much love to you. And
Yeah.
check Cindy out on LinkedIn for sure.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, folks. So we're just going to wrap this up here tonight. Thanks for all, like I said, thanks for all of you that have joined in. I just want to actually, it's been a while since I brought this out, the Overcomer Playbook. So if you want more joy in your life, if you're just walking through life with no direction, you're always doing for others and not yourself, letting life take you in all directions, unhappy but don't know how to fix it, going through the motions of life with no real plan, allowing people to dictate your life and how it's going to go. That was me 4 years ago. And I decided that longer was no longer to be my flow. I decided that I needed to make myself a priority as well. And I decided that I was not going to go through life not having any more fun. So I decided to create this book, The Overcomer Playbook. It is 7 weeks of intense fun. You can get your copy on Amazon today, as well as we'll be starting up group chats as well, group 7-week group um what should I say? I was going to say group therapy, but maybe it is therapy. It's all fun. We'll be going through the book. So if you're interested in that, DM me about the group. But you can definitely get your copy of the Overcomer Playbook on Amazon. And Jamie, thank you so much for joining us. Caught the last little bit and certainly great tips on joy. So thank you for joining us. That's right. And don't forget, guys, same time, same channel next week. Be unstoppable in all that you do. And bye for now.